Okay, we've come to the point where we know enough where we can go ahead and make our own very basic function. So let's go ahead and do that. And in this lecture, we're going to not only go over the basics of it, we're going to go ahead and pop it into a worksheet cell to make sure that it works. In the next lecture, we'll show you how to use it in VBA as well. Okay, so the basics, fundamentals of creating a function is that you start with the word function instead of the word sub like you would do for a normal subroutine or sub procedure. So we're going to say function space, and then we're going to give this one a name. Now what we happen to be doing is that we're going to say hello, and then we're going to put a name in there. So let's go ahead and call this one greeting or perhaps welcome. So we'll just call it welcome. So function welcome. Now you can enter your open and close parentheses, but I'm going to hit enter because I don't have any parameters yet. And that will automatically complete the parentheses as well as the end function, which is required. So it knows when this one ends. Now with a function, the actual name that we give it, for example, this one is called welcome, is very important. And the reason that's important is if we're returning an answer, perhaps to some calculations of some sort, if we're returning something to the cell or to the function, other than just performing actions like a sub would, we have to refer to the name of the function itself. For example, welcome. So we have to say welcome eventually at the end is going to be equal to, and then whatever our final outcome is. So for example, if I just said simply welcome equals hello, end quote, if I did this, then actually that would be a function. So let's go ahead and click on any cell and type equals WEL. Well, there it is. It's now one of the function lists. If I hit tab, it will just let me hit enter and it will complete. And then the result of my function called welcome would be the word hello, which is what we just told it to do. So that's pretty basic, right? Now let's go ahead and copy that and paste it here. We'll call this one welcome to. This will be our second function, so to speak. I'm going to say hello, but I'm going to put a space bar right after the word hello. And then I'm going to join that with an ampersand. Now an ampersand is very important in VBA because it allows you to join one or more objects together. So I could join a number or I could join another quote string of text. So in this case, how about we join that with someone's name? For example, hello Daniel. So we have hello space joined with, and then the word Daniel, or you could put numbers there. This is just important because you need to understand how concatenation works, or joining using the ampersand. So now I'm going to change this formula to welcome to. Oh, and I did not change the outcome. I did not say welcome to is going to be equal to this stuff here. So if I go ahead and double click, it will now come out with hello space Daniel. Now the reason I did that step to help you understand concatenation is because this function is actually ultimately going to give the name of the user. So I'm going to use, instead of Daniel, I'm going to backspace that. I want to put application dot username. And what that will do is whatever the system logged in user's name is will appear in this spot. So it'll say hello space and then join that to whoever the application's username is. So now if we recalculate welcome to our new function and hit enter, it's going to say hello Daniel C. Strong. On your computer, I imagine it will have a different username. In the next lecture, we're going to talk a little bit about parameters, and we're also going to help you understand how to do this using Excel VBA and not just in a cell. It should be noted that whenever you're creating a function in Excel VBA, you should put that in a standard module. You should not put that in the worksheet or this workbook object. So what I mean by that is, you see that we're using module 1 or whatever you want to name that. We're using a standard module. We are not going to double click on this workbook and type our functions in there. And we're not going to click on sheet 4 or sheet 1, put our code in there for a function. We're going to put it in a module. Now it doesn't matter how many modules you have or how many functions you have in there, as long as you put them in a regular module.